Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm here in Munich at the Wearable Technologies event, and I'm joined by Stacey Wegner from Teardown. Stacey, fascinating presentation this morning, and a live teardown, which I think is the first time you've ever done that. Really interesting to see what's going on in terms of how these products are manufactured. Tell me a bit about the teardown you did and what you presented today, and what you're finding in terms of how wearables are challenging the manufacturing sector.
We tore down the Amigo bracelet today. It was a quasi-live. It was quite difficult to tear apart. What we're seeing with wearables is that it isn't just about miniaturization. It's they're having to get really creative on how they create mechanically these devices, because thanks to the technologies that we've seen in mobile devices, the technology is already there. It's just now we need to put them on a smaller area and get them to work, and they need to be robust. And so we're seeing some really creative things, as we saw with the Amiga, with the epoxy for waterproofing instead of doing something like using gaskets. Okay,
and again, when we look at the wearables that you wear on your wrist and those flexible things as well, but also we're starting to see stuff coming to fabrics. Flexibility, stretchability, all those are going to play quite big. Potting and stuff like that, it seems just a way of keeping it very rigid and holding it in place. Right. What about technologies that will allow these things to flex?
I think that's something new that we're starting to see more of. It really started probably in 2014, and I'm really looking forward to 2015. We're seeing a lot of cool, stretchy kind of mechanics, which is it's amazing to us because we are so used to rigid electronics, and I feel as if with the introduction of these wearable shirts, we're really pushing the bounds of electronic flexibility now. It's not just PCBs with the flexible PCBs that we've seen, but now we're talking actual coils and electronic gateways that we attach to our bodies.
Okay, and from a supply chain point of view, you talked about the different manufacturers that are providing the chips, the devices. One of the things I've noticed here this week is we're seeing some division between companies that produce, if you like, a system with a solution, and companies that produce maybe a sensor or some just simple product. Do you think there's a trend there where there are starting to become commodities within the wearables area?
Maybe not yet, but yes, yeah. I think there's room. I think with the wearables being, I wouldn't say the disruptive tech, but I think it's the exciting tech. I think that we're going to, whoever's here now has a pretty good lead on everybody.
Yeah.
So I think for the next year and a half, we'll really start to see what the landscape looks like.
Yeah, and we've got one or two manufacturers that are really kind of trying to play the role of enabler, trying to be the key manufacturers in this sector. Do you think it is a sector where people do need to get involved at the innovation end? They do need to really understand the technology to be able to manufacture and take those products to scale? Oh,
absolutely. I think that we have ST Micro here that's working with some innovators. There are semiconductors that are even going to the high schools and running programs now, because wearables is just one piece of the Internet of Things, but it's going to be a very big part of the Internet of Things. So, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's those big companies connecting to innovation. And again, that's one of the things I see here. You see large corporates like Intel, Flextronics, ST Micro, alongside the founders of small startups.
Right, yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it's exciting for everybody, I think, wearables is very exciting. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. Okay. Last of all, just tell me how, if someone wants to access Teardown as an organisation, what would be a normal customer interaction?
You know, I don't know if there's a normal interaction. I see such a broad scope of questions, and I think it really speaks to what we do, because what we do, we collect a lot of data, but we can help with a lot of problems, but we can also answer a lot of questions. And so I don't know. I think costing comes up a lot. How do I build this efficiently? Not cheaply, but efficiently. So we do get a lot of costing questions. We do get a lot of who's the design wins, and we do get, especially with the startups, we notice more of a guide, more of a mentor kind of when they look at our data, and it's only because they know what they want to do, but they don't. Instead of going and randomly picking a semiconductor to find that solution, they can come to us and say, hey, we have this problem. Who have you seen? So we don't have to go and look for everybody.
So you have that vast experience, that connection. Okay, well, Stacey, thanks for your time. We'll put a email address and a connection along with the video so people can get in touch, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.